Cool, you can share the stream. शेयर कर दो स्ट्रीम, शुरू करते हैं. 2 मिनट में शुरू करते हैं. Let everyone join in. Let everyone join in. We'll start in couple of minutes. नहीं, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स करो. If you are already in a company, I'll highly recommend that you should do data structures more instead of CP. CP is a mind sport. Do it in the your college life, right? Like once, so that your brain gets developed into that level of easily solving problems. But yes, if you are in an industry, it will not be possible for you to spend time on computer programming. So it's better that if you do data structures on that stuff. नहीं यार, आज मैं थोड़ा बाहर बाहर था तो मैंने देखा ही नहीं. चलो शुरू करते हैं. शुरू करें. Let's get started. Sunday night. Let's get started on Sunday night, and today we will be solving started before a month and completed 100 questions. Amazing Satish. Today we will be solving. यार ये AC नहीं चल रहा है, इसको क्या हो गया? Okay, so today we will be solving what Microsoft interview questions. So I have a couple of questions that are being asked in the Microsoft coding test. So you'll get to know about what kind of different problems can be asked in coding test. Are those of competitive programming level or not? And after that, I'll be discussing two very very well-known problems, but generally people don't find an easy solution to those problems. That is what I'll be discussing today. Two online assessment problems, and right after that, two problems which are from lead code, and again which are very distinct solutions. Like you will not be able to think of that. संडे सब आराम कर रहे हो? सही है भाई. Okay, since everyone has joined in, let's get started. So for everyone who's new out here, I'll give you a short introduction about myself. My name is Raj Vikramaditya. I'm generally known as Driver in the programming community. Currently, I'm working as a software engineer at Media.net, DirectI. Prior to this, I was working at Amazon, and currently I'm a candidate master at Codeforces, also a 6-star rated coder at CodeChef. I have a couple of years of teaching experience, and I also run a YouTube channel which has around 1 lakh plus subscribers. The subjects that I generally take are competitive programming, data structure algorithms, C++, and interview preparation. Okay, and this is the new career as a developer subscription. It will be having a lot of shows which will be covering a variety of topics. Shows around placements in top product based companies, like what you need to do, beating the odds to get a good placement, like what different you have to do from other people. Then we will be having live problem solving, where we will be having problem as being live solved, and also we will be having over the weekend projects. Basically, we'll be giving you ideas about projects, and we will be discussing across the weekend how to do that project. So these kind of events are planned across the career as a developer subscription. You can go check it out. The costing is 999 for 1 year, and if you use the coupon code Striver, you'll get a 10% off. That is, you'll get it at 8,999 for 1 year. Okay. So after that, you will be under the subscription, you'll also get college projects, where you'll get show every Friday night at 10 p.m. that is taken by me. It has started on 6th of August. What I generally do is, on every Friday, I take your projects. Yes, I take your projects, I review them at every step, and I tell you what different things you can integrate, and what are the features that the interviewer might not like. I also suggest you ideas about what kind of projects you need to do. Apart from this, the other educator at this channel, that is Sai Avinash, with a 7-star at CodeChef and All India rank 4, will be taking the CodeChef apprentice, which is again going to be happening every Saturday at 2 p.m. What happens over here? He's basically gonna solve some CodeChef problems. Also, he's gonna tell you about how to be consistent understand that CodeChef problem, what is the best, how can you use CodeChef bestly. He'll also be reviewing your CodeChef profiles and a lot more which is related to competitive programming. Also, you can check out my a new batch which has started at August 1. It's in English. It's a placement 2021 batch which is focused on cracking the coding rounds of top product based companies. Currently we are at binary search, so if you are anyone who's looking forward to have CP strong or want to crack coding rounds, you can definitely try out this batch. Again, it will be completely in English. It's a 4-month subscription plan. Again, lastly, if you're new to this channel, please make sure you use the coupon. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified. Okay, so yeah, the main important thing, please do use the coupon code Striver. That's cool. I think we are all ready to start Microsoft interview. I'll take a recent interview that happened in. I recently had to insert a node in complete binary tree in lesser than. Yeah, complete binary tree. We can do that in login, isn't it? Okay, cool. Let's get started. Okay, let's get started with the first this Microsoft March 2021 offer question. What hello lead coders, I hope everyone is keeping safe. I'm so grateful for this community. It has amazing people who will help me reaching the goal which felt distant a year ago. I'm writing this post after solving 400 lead code problems and facing n number of rejections in the past 6 months. My strategy was to first understand the particular pattern or a data structure and then solve at least 10-15 problems on what topic and then revise these topics and solve the same problems after regular intervals. I found myself getting better in concepts with time. It was a gradual process. It took time around 6 months to reach that level of confidence. March 2021, I got a call from recruiter through LinkedIn. Interview was scheduled after 10 days. So it was an online test with 2 medium level questions. I'm adding the link below. So the online level is over here. Okay, so this is the first question. I will recommend you to read this first question, please. Please read the first question. Mock interview, चलो बात करते हैं, एक mock interview लाते हैं. Sanskar, you have to tell the question completely. Like you're asking, insert a node in a complete binary tree lesser than bgo of n. So don't you think it's an easy one? It's similar to the question that we did yesterday. Like you figure out the left height, right height, and whenever you see the left height, like the right height is lesser than the left height, that is the branch that you will go across, and that is where you'll insert it, isn't it? What's a complete binary tree? All the levels will be completely filled, only the last level will not be filled, right? So if you're wanting to insert a node at the last level, you check out at every node if the left is equal to right, and if it is not, then the left will always be greater than right? So what you will do is you will basically go to the right and you'll insert it right across, like at the last node you'll insert it on the left. That's what you'll do. Got it? Sanskar Bhargav. Okay, please read this question. This is the first question that we will be doing. The first question states a company has n factories, okay, each producing some solution every month. The company has decided to reduce its total fuel emissions by equipping some of the factories with one or more filters. Each such filter reduces, very important, each filter reduces the pollution of factory by half. Like the moment you apply a filter, the pollution reduces by half. When you apply a second filter, it again reduces by half. So basically whenever you are initially, let's assume you have 6 units of pollution. So if you apply one filter, the 6 will reduce to 3. If you apply one more filter, this 3 will reduce to 1.5. If you apply one more filter, this 1.5 will be half. So whatever is the current state of pollution, that will get reduced to half. Okay, so you're given an array of n integers. You're given an array of n integers and describing the amount of pollution produced by the factories. So there are n factories and you are given the pollution produced by every factory. Your task is to find the minimum number of filters needed to decrease the total sum of pollution by at least half. By at least half. And what you're given is an array of integers of nth, and you have to return the minimum number of filters that you have to apply so that the total pollution is reduced by at least, total pollution by at least half For an example, if you have 5, 19, 8, 1, okay, so the initial pollution is 33. So you have to reduce the pollution in such a way, yes, you have to reduce the pollution in such a way that the total pollution, which is 33, is lesser than half of 33. That's around 16 or lesser than that, or like lesser than 16.5. That is what we want. So let's see. So basically, if we install two filters at the factory producing 19 units, yes, I repeat, if there are two filters, right, at 19, so this 19 will get reduced to 19 by 2 by 2. And if I have a filter at 8 by 2, like at and if I have a filter at 8 by 2, don't you think it will total, like if I just reduce 19 by half, it will be, and again by half, and 8 by half. So these two are what I'll reduce. These two I'll reduce. Once I've reduced, I'll find that the summation comes out to be 14.75, which is lesser than 16.5. Hence, the number of filters applied is 3. Hence, the number of filters applied is 3. So what do you think? How can I do this? It's written over here. That's why you predicted it. It's written over here. That's why you predicted it. So can you tell me how will you solve this problem? It's one of the online assessment questions written on March 16, 2021. So what do you think? How can we solve this problem? What's your thought process on how can we solve this problem? Yeah, perfect, 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 perfect. Perfect. Everyone is giving me the correct answer. ठीक है जिन्होंने देखा नहीं खुद से सोल्यूशन दिया आप लाइक अमेजिंग अमेजिंग नॉट अ मैं मजाक कर रहा था तुम लोग देख लिए. Anyways, so for people who are not understanding this, it's a very simple question. Like if you're doing DSA, I think this doesn't require competitive programming. Normal lead code knowledge will do 5, 19, 8, 1. So what I will do is I will basically have a reduction by 2 here, and again on that I'll do a reduction by 2, and this I'll do a reduction by 2. So 5 and 19 by 4 will give you something as 4.75 plus 8 by 2 will give you 4 plus 1. So this will give you something as 14.75, and the total pollution initially was 5 plus 19 plus 8 plus 1, that's 33. So what we get is 14.75, which is lesser than 33 by 2, which is ultimately 16.5. Hence I can say I have added 2 filters here and I've added 1 filter here. So the total number of filters that I have applied in order to reduce the pollution is nothing but 3. The total number of filters that I've applied is nothing but 3. So we know the solution, right? We know the solution now. Perfect. Perfect. So कैसे करेंगे? How will I do this? Any idea on how will I do this? Yes, people are saying right. It's gonna be the maximum priority queue. Maximum priority queue, guys. Maximum priority queue. So what I can do is I can just have a maximum priority queue assigned, and I can keep the initial sum as 33. Okay. And what I can do is I can have everything in the priority queue. So if I have a maximum priority queue, first time I will have 19, then I'll have an 8, then I'll have a 3, then I'll have a 1. So greedy nature of me will tell me that I'll take the maximum element out. So I've taken the maximum element out. So what I'll do is I'll subtract it by 19. Yes, I'll subtract it by 19. So I'll get 14, and then I'll divide it by 2. What I'll get is 9.5 is what I get. The moment I get 9.5, I'll take this 9.5 and I'll insert this into the priority queue data structure. And the moment I get 9.5, I'll re-add 9.5 to this guy. So this guy will become 23.5 now. Perfect. So the sum becomes 23.5. Now I again find out which is the topmost element in the priority queue. That's 9.5. So I'll get 9.5 and I'll divide by 2. Right? I'll get 9.5 and I'll divide by 2. And what I'll get is basically, I think 4.75 is what I'll get. The moment I get 4.75, just make sure you reduce 4.75 from here. So the moment you reduce 4.75, I think you'll get something like 19 or whatever, like you'll get something like this, 18.75. 18.75 is you will कुछ ऐसा ही मिलेगा कल लियो यार, like 3.5 1.25 18.75 मिलेगा. You'll get something like an 18.75. Take 4.75, insert into the priority queue. So this is where 4.75 will go. Right after that, take the next greater element, that's 8. Divide 8 by 2 and you'll get 4. So just reduce 4 from it. You'll get 14.75. The moment you take this 4 and insert it again, the moment you see you get a sum which is lesser than 33 by half, you stop. And I can say there were 3 operations that are being done in the priority queue. हो गया, समझ में आ गया? Is this clear? Is this clear? Set भी मतलब set फिर ascending दे देगा ना. You need the greatest element. You have to use reverse set, and then set will be having a problem. If you have duplicates, then there will be a problem. That's why we have to use something as priority queue. हमें ठंडा परफेक्ट. आगे बढ़े, आगे बढ़े. क्लियर हो गया? हाँ, कोड नहीं कर रहे हैं. इजी है, इजी इजी पीजी है. कोड, शैल आई कोड इट? Everyone's okay, right? Everyone can code this. Super simple to code. The naive approach will be again, you have to try out everything, and that's gonna make it a binary, dynamic programming approach. No need to give like, if because it's a coding round question. Generally these kind of questions are not asked in online interviews. These will be asked in coding rounds. So if it's asked in coding rounds, what you can do is you can just simply solve it, right? Cool. So we are done with this. So now what we will do is I sleep at 6 o'clock in the morning. I sleep at 6 o'clock. I wake up at 12 o'clock in the day. That's how I sleep. Okay, next question. This is important. Let's see who can solve this. Let's see. You can. Let's see if you can solve this. It's an amazing problem. If anyone can give me a solution which is amazing, I'll be like, hands down. If anyone can give me this solution. Loading, please wait. No, you cannot clear Microsoft by solving all these questions. You can get an idea about how much prepared you are and what kind of questions can you expect. So according to that, prepare your data structures and everything. Please read the question. What do you think? How can you do this question? What's your thought? अरे जूम करने से फट जाता है यार, ये बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. 3070 का स्पेस समझते नहीं है लोग. मैं को ये कॉपी कर लेने दो, सप्लाई में ही पढ़ाता हूँ. Let me copy this. तो पढ़ते जाओ, मैं एंटर मारते जा रहा हूँ, ठीक है? You guys read on, I'll keep on entering that, okay? You can easily read on. I'll explain the question, but still, please read, please read. हाँ, नेक्स्ट दिन करवाता हूँ यार, ये लोग मानते ही नहीं है। ये लोग बोलते हैं आपका चेहरा ही ज़्यादा दिखना चाहिए, मैं क्या बोलूँ? ना यू कैन रीड द क्वेश्चन एंटायरली, ठीक है? तो मुझे कोई मुझे कोई मज़ा नहीं आता इतना बड़ा चेहरा लेके बैठने में, because I get a very less screen to teach, which I do not like. हाँ, सारे प्लेसमेंट वाले हैं ये. दिस इज एन ऑनलाइन असेसमेंट क्वेश्चन. So generally in online assessment you'll be given like there are n cards, like they will twist the question into a story. They'll twist the question into a story and you have to understand the question, that's it. Yes, pray for Afghanistan, pray. Read the question, guys. ओके, ड्रॉर का लग रहा है, ठीक है. ड्रॉर का कैसे करोगे? हाउ विल यू डू दिस ऑफ ज़ॉर? दैट्स द क्वेश्चन. हाउ विल यू डू दिस ऑफ ज़ॉर? Union find, okay, that's an interesting. But how will you do with union find? Just do not say because you have to say. You do everything, Ritik. You do multitasking, you do triple tasking. I like the stream, guys. 170 people watching. Everyone should like the stream. Please like the stream. Please like the stream. संडे रात को 10 बजे कोई स्ट्रीम कर रहा है तो गेमर्स को जैसे प्यार देते हो इधर भी दो. जोर कॉन्सेप्ट का no. I'll give you a couple of solutions. By the way, the expected solution is around n square, but yeah, I can give you a much better solution than this, and you'll be like, wow. Cut your hair, bro. Cut your hair. I don't have Caesar, bro. I don't have Caesar. Okay, now it's time to understand the question. I hope you have gotten a fair bit of idea about the question. So what does the question state? So let's take this example. Okay, let's take this example and try to figure out what does the question actually is meaning. So basically, if this is the array that is given to you, okay, this is the array that is given to you. That's 1 0 0. That's 1 1 0. That's 0 1 0. That's 0 1 1. That's 1 0 0 1. Okay, so this is how the array I think looks like. Am I correct? Or did I miss something? I think I missed something. कॉपी गलत हो गया. यहाँ से कर लेते हैं. यहाँ देखो. So basically, if this is the given cars, okay, if this is the given cars, so they're saying the answer should be 2. Why 2? Because car number 0 is having 1 0 0. Okay, and how many guys are only differing by 1 bit across all the guys? So I can say 1 0 0 is matching with 1 1 0, right, and is also matching with 1 0 0. Now you might ask, what is the meaning of match? So for that, please read this line. Are similar if the description differ by at most one feature. So it's a feature. So this guy has this feature. So this car has two features. So it's differing by one feature. This guy has one feature. So this guy is not differing. So this guy is similar to two cars because they are only differing. Like this guy is differing by one feature and this guy is differing by 0 feature. So have you understood this? Have you understood the question? I kind of Kind of you have understood, right? Have you or not? You need, okay. We'll find a graph with a given relation that is strings with one difference beat and find the connected components. Ah, no, 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 no. Hash all and then flip bits of each string and check in hash map. No, 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 no. So in short, the question is stating, if I have the question in short, it's stating that, like, for any given string, for any given, like, there is an array of strings. For every given string, figure out how many other strings are similar to it. How many other strings are similar to the string si? That's the question. How many other strings are similar to si? That is the question. Okay, someone is saying try solution. Okay, counts at bits. What about 101? Okay, try solution. Why try? Tank is spamming try. Try कैसे होगा? Because no, no, try तो नहीं होगा. Try तो नहीं होगा. Not a try solution for sure. Because you're not sure now which bit might differ. Any bit can differ. Like for an example, for 101, someone like 111 is similar. Someone like 001 is also similar. Someone like 100 is also similar. These all three guys are similar because this is where they're like someone like 101 is also similar. So try solution is definitely not possible because I need to figure out how many are different. Okay, so try is definitely not the solution because I need to figure out how many are different. So the easiest solution is definitely big of n squared. That's very easy. Big of n squared though is very easy. I take one string and I check with all the others. So that's an n squared solution. But can I do better? I can. I can do better. Let's see how. Let's see how. So I will take a very small example and it'll be like, wow, man. It'll be like, wow. So assuming that it's a 32 bits, it's a 32-bit string given to you, like it's an integer. So assuming we have 101, we have 000, we have 100, we have another 001. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, someone is saying n square is something which I'll not look. N square is something which I'll not look. Hash all the strings in a map and then flip bits of each string and check in hash map. Flip bits in each string. Yes, that can be done. That is a good solution. That's a good solution, Krishna. That's a good solution. That is what I was thinking about. I'll tell you the solution. So now tell me one thing. If I can hash all the strings, like the integer values of all the strings, let's hash all the integer values of the strings. So this is nothing but 5. So I'll say 5 appears once. This is 0. I'll say 0 appears once. This is 100, like this is a comma. 100, that's 4. I'll say 4 appears once. This is 1. I'll say 1 appears once. So now what you can do is, instead of an n square solution, you take this guy 101. Okay, so you took 101, which is 5, so you check out, does 5 exist in your hash map? Does 5 exist in your hash map? I'll be like, 5 does exist, but it exists once. So that's not the solution. That's definitely not the solution because the 5 that I have is the current 5. I definitely need more 5s in order to say that they are similar. Okay, next, I'll turn off one bit. So I'll turn off one bit, then I'll get something as 001. What is this number? This is 1. I'll check in the hash map, does 1 exist? I'll find yes. So I'll say one string is similar. One string is similar. Now I will turn off this bit. So I'll get, like, basically flip that bit. I'll get 111. So if I get 1111, I can now easily check if this number exists or not, which is 7. Does 7 exist? No. Next, I'll flip the next bit. That's 100. Makes it as 100. This is nothing but 4. 4 does exist. So I'll say that two strings are similar if I try the same or I'll flip. Got it? Have you got it? Like, I can easily do that in big of n cross 32. N cross 32, assuming 32 is the maximum number of bits, or 64. Have you got this, what I'm trying to do? I'll try to flip every bit and I'll check, does that exist? Like, how many times it exists? The number of time it exists, I can say that that is the number of similar strings it can have if I turn off that bit. Have you got this? Can I get a yes if you have got this? Can I get a yes if you have got this? How many of you did not? How many of you did not? How many of you did not get this? Okay, looks like everyone has not got it yet. Everyone has not got it yet. Has everyone got it, by the way? 4 yes क्यों दिख रहा है? 110 क्यों नहीं होगा? 110 इसलिए नहीं होगा क्योंकि देखो 101 and 110 has two bits that are conflicting. There are two bits that are, yeah, I'll code this. There are two bits that are conflicting and I don't want that. I want just a one bit to conflict. I just want one bit to conflict. The constraints are very simple. N will be around 10 to the power 5 and these strings are bits of integers. Are bits of integers. फिर से समझाओ. Now the string length is limited. Otherwise, it's practically just imagine if the string length is very large, the input cannot be given to you. If n is 10 to the power 5 and the string length is very large, then the input cannot be given to you. Then in that case, you have to hash map the bits. Hash map the bits. If the string cannot be converted into an integer, you have to hash map the strings. The strings has to be hash mapped. The strings has to be hash mapped. If the string length is more than 60, then instead of numbers, hash map the string itself. If the string length is more than 60, hash map the string itself. Yes, I'll for long string length, just hash map the string. So I can also do this question in this way. You see, I can also do this question in this way. If I have 101, I have 100, I have 001, and I have something like 111. I mean, like just some other numbers. 001. Okay. Now what I'll do is I can also, like, if the string lengths are very large, just hash map the string itself. Na 101 appears once, 100 appears once, 001 appears twice. Hash map na. And now take this 101 and now just turn off the string. Just turn off the string. Just make sure you turn off the string. That's it. मैं कंपनी क्यों चेंज करूंगा यार, मैं बहुत खुश हूँ. I can do all my other works. The work culture is so amazing. I can do every other thing, yeah. I can do YouTube, I can do live streams, I can do everything. That is not possible if you go to a company like Amazon or something, because the work culture is very pathetic over there. So yeah, I'm happy. So first, if you have 101, check does 101 exist in your hash map or not. So I see that 101 does not exist in your hash map. Yes, 101 does not exist in your hash map. So like does exist, but that is the one occurrence and that I do not look for. I can turn off this bit. I can turn off this bit. I'll get 001. See if 001 appears. It appears twice. So I can add 2 to the answer. I can say there are two similar strings. I can turn off this bit to get, flip that bit to get 111. This doesn't appear. This doesn't appear. I can turn off this bit to get 100, which again appears over here, which is one occurrence. So this will become 3. This will become 3. So there are 3 similar strings to 101. There are 3 similar strings to 101. Got it? Yes. Upmani Mukherjee, yes. If the frequency would have been greater than 1 for similars, then you'll add that up. If the frequency has been greater than 1, then you'll add that up. So has everyone understood a long string pe bhi kyun kaam karega this stuff? Why will it work for long strings and everything? It will work for long strings, short strings, everything it will work for. ठीक है? आ गया समझ? Okay. So I'll now code this. Let's code this up. So basically, if I'm given void find find similar strings. Okay, so imagine if I'm given a vector of strings only. So I'll find the number of strings that is given to me. I'll find the number of strings given to me. Okay, so I've figured out the number of simply now start with the hash map. So probably I can declare a map of string int. By the way, guys, there is something which is known as bit set in Java, in C++. There is something which is known as a bit set. Please remember this name. There's something which is known as bit set. Okay, so you can convert every string to a bit set also, but I'll not go to that. So yeah, I've just made sure that this is converted. So once this has been converted, yes, once this has been converted. So by the way, tell me one thing. Is this a second question? So just tell me one thing. Can you modify a character of a string? Can you modify a character of a string in C++? Can you do that? Okay, mute. Okay. Can you modify a string? Like you have to flip bits. So can you modify that? सोचो थोड़ा सोच के कोड करेंगे. Can we modify that? By the way, let's hash this. Tell me the answer for this. Yes. Yes, directory bitset का directory bitset ही है. You can also convert that into bitset. Okay. So what now I'll do is I'll start from I equal to 0 and I'll go until n I plus plus and I'll have a counter of, like, I can have a similarity vector of int and I can say similar n comma 0. And what I'll do is I will start. First I will check if the same string appears on the map or not. First I'll check if the same string, okay, so basically vec of I, does it appear on the string or not? If it appears, I'll add the answer similar of I, please add mpp of occurrence -1, because -1 for itself. Assume the same string is appearing 5 times. One will be for itself, right? One will be for itself. So that itself has to be determined. Check for similar appearance. Try to flip every single bit once. So for int j equal to 0, j lesser than vec I dot size j plus plus. So what I'll do is I'll say vec of ij, that's the string. I'll say flip it. I'll basically say flip it. So basically if this guy is 1, I will say, hey, why don't you flip yourself to 0? Or else I'll say, hey, vec of ij, why don't you flip yourself to 1? Right? That is what I'll say. Just flip yourself to the opposite. Once you have flipped yourself, why don't you check, do you exist? And if you do exist, why don't you add to the answer similar of I plus equal to the number of times it exists? And once I've done this, I'll reflip it. Once I've done this, I'll reflip it. Got it? Once I've done this, I'll reflip it. So after this, I can directly return. Yes, after this, I can directly return the similar. Is this clear? Is this clear, guys? Let me know if I've done any mistakes. If I've done any mistakes, let me know. So you need to be very fast while coding these kind of solutions. It's not an n square solution. It's not an O of n square solution. It's an O of n into number of bits solution. You need to understand the difference between an n square and an n into number of bits. So ideally, if you think, if the string lengths are very huge, they cannot give you n that huge strings. That is practically not possible. Just practically think, can you be given n huge strings? You don't have that much memory. That much memory is not allowed. So definitely the string sizes are small. Like practically think, the string sizes has to be small in order to be able to give you in an input. Otherwise, how will they give every string of 10 to the power 5 length? That's practically not possible, right? सिमिलर अपीयरेंस वाला समझ नहीं आया. क्या नहीं समझ में आया? सिमिलर अपीयरेंस, अब बताओ 1 1 1 है, ठीक है, एक स्ट्रिंग है जो 1 1 1 है, So if there is a string which is 111 and that appears throughout the array for 4 times, so whenever you're saying कि इस ये कितने लोगों से similar है, तो 4 बार बोलोगे या 3 बार बोलोगे? सोच लो, आंसर आ जाएगा. Got it? Go direct. If 111 appears, if there is if 111 and there is like 0, there's 0 0 0 and then a 1 1 1 and then a 1 1 1. So for this 1 1, if I ask the similarity, how many are similars? So can I say there are 3 similars, but I'll actually take 2 as the answer because I want how many other strings are similar. That's why I've done -1. Got it? Got it? Code direct अब इसमें ड्राई रन क्या करना है कोड का? Now got it? Code direct. Now how will you do XOR? That is my question. If you're doing a XOR, then you have to again do an n-square solution, right? You have to go across everyone. This is a complexity of n into bits. Generally the bits cannot be of very large length. But how will you do XOR? That is my question. How will you do XOR? How will you do XOR? That is n into m, right? If you're doing a XOR with every guy, then there's a problem, right? Amritans, if you're doing a XOR, that will take it to n square, because you take a string and then you XOR it with someone else, then with someone else, then with someone else, then with someone else. That's an n square. That's an n square, right? Okay. Yeah, you can say time complexity is n into average length of the strings. N into the time complexity becomes n into average length of the strings. And since we know this, just practically think, क्या तुमको कोई 10 to the power 5 size का array, 10 to the power 5 size array, can someone give huge strings, every string of such huge length? That's memory overflow. So the length of the strings has to be small. Practically think. Okay, next question. Cool, let's go to the next question. So the next question was so this is the next question. Longest palindromic substring. That's a good question. Today I'll be discussing a wonderful solution to it. So I want you to read the question as of now. Read the question. XOR will also work. But the problem is whenever you do a XOR, it will be n square. सोचो, आप अगर XOR करने जाओगे सबके साथ तो n square, and string बड़े हैं तो आप XOR कैसे करोगे मुझे नहीं पता. Okay, Manich's. Will you tell a Manich's algorithm in an interview? This was asked in an interview. So a tip that I'll give you is, if a question like this is generally asked in an interview, why is this tagged as a medium? The reason it is tagged as a medium is generally they do not expect a Manich's algorithm, because in an interview, coming up with a Manich's algorithm is very, very tough. So do not go to Manich's. It's not recursion. Sorry, it's not dynamic programming. I'll do this in big of n square without dynamic programming. Yes, I'll do this in big of n square without dynamic programming, and I'll tell you that. Manager is something which I cannot teach at present because I know the solution, but it will take a lot of prerequisite in order to understand Manich's algorithm. So I'll not go into Manich's, and generally if you read a lot of solutions and everything, you will be clearly stated that do not tell a Manich's algorithm in an interview. That's not preferable, because generally the interviewers do not expect you to tell the Manich's algorithm. So do not tell the managers. Instead of that, you can tell the dynamic programming solution to this, or you can tell the other solution that I'm gonna suggest to you. Okay. 2-pointer. Yes, I'm gonna do it using 2-pointer. Yes, Abhay. Yes, yes. For people who do not know this, like this can be solved using dynamic programming. But I'll tell you one thing. The in an interview, generally I've seen this being asked. Like whenever this question is asked, I've read a lot of interview experiences. There is one question that is always asked. Now, a lot of time, people say that I'll do one thing. What I'll do is I will take this string that's BABAD. So I'll consider this as string 1. And then people say I'll take another string 2 and I will reverse this string. I'll reverse this given string. So I will get DABAB. So once I've reversed this string, people tell me that I will now find the longest common substring. I repeat, I will find the longest common substring that is equal in it. Like the longest common substring that is equal in it, and I figure out that this substring is equivalent to this substring. Hence BAB, is a valid answer, and I can say that is the longest palindromic subsequence. So can you tell me what is the fault in this method? Can you tell me what is the fault in this method? When will this not work? When the reversal will not work? Can you tell me one approach where this fails? Can you tell me where is this wrong? This is wrong solution. Can you tell me where will this go wrong? ये solution wrong है. This is a wrong solution. Where? Give me a test case where this is a wrong solution. Tell me where will this go wrong? Now give me a solution. Give me a test case. What if the interviewer tells you that why will this solution not work? Give me a test case where this does not works. Okay. Someone says Shashank gives me a test case. So let's discuss Shashank's test case. Shashank gives me a test case which is apparently, let's take Shashank's test case and see if it's correct. Shashank says, अरे कौन बोला wrong नहीं है, wrong ही है. A reverse वाला wrong है solution. AACA BDKA BDKA CAA. So this is the string. So if I just reverse it, if I consider string 1, string 2, and if I reverse it, I will get AACA KDBACAA. And if I try to find the longest common substring, I will actually get this as the longest common substring out of these two strings. I'll get this two as this is the general solution that usually comes to your brain. This is the general solution that comes to your brain, right? So what will happen is this is wrong. The reason is very simple, because the moment you reverse, this guy tends to be comes out to be same. Hence you say that AACA is the longest common palindromic substring, which is apparently wrong. Got it? So have you got it? Why something like reversing fails? Has everyone got this? समझ में आ गया ना क्यों फेल करता है? Now we will not talk about the DP solution, because remember, if this question is asked in an interview, don't go into the DP round, because you have to explain the DP solution, coding it up. That will waste 30 minutes around. I'll waste 30 minutes, and the interviewer will be like, no, optimize it further. That is where your time will be killed. So first solution that you should start off with, you can tell that DP is a solution, but you can still think of better. Do not get into the DP solution when you are discussing this in an interview. So what we will do is, we will just take one of this BABAD. Okay. So what we will do is, what if I tell you that what are palindromic substrings? So there can be two kinds of palindromic substrings. There can be two kinds of palindromic substrings. One is the even length palindromic substring, while the other one is the odd length palindromic substring. So what if नहीं समझ आया क्यों फेल? अरे क्या हो गया? Explain one more. अरे क्या हो गया ये? अच्छा सब बोल रहे हो explain once more. क्या हो गया ये? कितने लोग को like how many people did not understand? Like what will I explain once more? What will I explain once more? क्या explain करें once more? अरे क्या करें explain? ठीक है एक बार और चलो बता देता हूँ. See, so if the string is given as this, the first, let's take the first string. Assume this is the string given. ठीक है? Assume this is the string given, ठीक है? Why will an approach like just reverse the string to get AACA, KDB, and then ACAA. And after that, of these two strings, figure out the LCS. Out of these two strings, figure out the LCS. So why will this fail? Because if you take this, AACA and AACA are actually failing. But logically, if you think I'm reversing the string, so longest common substring should be same. No, but this is the test case where it will fail. Have you understood क्यों fail हो रहा है? Because AACA is not a palindrome, and I'm looking for longest palindromic substring. Hence, this is going to fail. Clear है? अब clear है? आगे बढ़े? Yes, Arjun. That's why it is failing. Is this clear? Can I get a yes so that आप फिर से ना पूछो? Can I get a yes if you don't ask, like so that you don't ask again? Can I get a yes? अब भी नहीं समझ में आया तो स्ट्रीम को पीछे करके देख लो. Still not clear? स्ट्रीम को पीछे करके देख लो. Okay. So do not tell the DP method because it's not a good method. DP will mean a big O of n square of time complexity and a big O of n square or big O of n space. Like both of these can be solutions. But why should you not tell a DP solution in an interview? Because if there exists a better solution, the interviewer will ask you the better solution, and you will spend your entire time in telling the DP solution in order to create an impression, and that is something which is not expected. So directly start off with the big O of n square solution with the space complexity of big O of 1. Directly start off with this. Do not waste time and directly start off with big O of n square and big O of 1 solution. Okay? So let's see what is the big O of n square and big O of 1. Upamanyu Chaudhary, खुश हो जा भाई. Okay, so there are a couple of kinds of palindromic substrings. Okay, what are these couple of kinds of palindromic substrings? One is the even length palindromic substring, while the other one is the odd length palindromic substring. So if I talk about an even length, for an example, AA, BB, AA. So can I say an even length palindromic substring will always have couple of middles? Can I definitely say an even length will always have a couple of middles? I'll be like, yes, you're correct. It will always have a couple of middles. But if I say a odd length palindrome, can I say it will only have a single middle? I'll be like, yes. I'll be like, yes. So an even length always has a couple of middle. Whereas an odd length will always have double, like single middle. So what I'll do is, what if I consider every element to be a middle? What if I consider every element to be a middle? What if I say that B will be once my middle? So I'll take B as the middle. So there can be two kinds of middle. One is odd ka middle, one is evens middle. So if evens middle is B, the next guy should be A. Should definitely be A. It should definitely be A, right? But that's not possible. That's not possible. And this odd guy will say that if I am the middle, on the right I will have A, but on the left I cannot have anyone else. So if I consider the middle, I can only generate the substring which has B. Perfect. Now what I'll do is, I'll move to the next. What if I consider A as the middle? Again I can say the same thing. If I consider A as the middle, that's odd length. That's odd length. So from right I can take B, from left I can take B. Perfect. From right I can take A, but from left I do not have anyone. So if I consider A as the middle, I can get the substring BAB. Basically A को उठाया, बगल वाले से एक लिया, and इस बगल वाले से एक लिया. आया समझ? इसके बाद what if I consider A as the even middle? If I consider A as the even middle, then this B will be the other middle. But that's not possible. Both of them have to be equal. Both of them have to be equal, right? So that's definitely not possible. Next, I'll come to this B. Now when I come to this B, again I can say this B will be a middle. So this B is a middle. This B is a middle. So I will take someone on the right, that's A, someone on the left. Perfect. I've taken A and A. Next, can I take this D and can I take this B? If I take D and B, they will come out to be unequal. They'll come out to be unequal. So I'll not take it. So ultimately, the odd length came out to be 3. And can I consider this for even? No, because why? Because on the side of B, there is A. And I know if it's an even length substring, both the middles should definitely be equal. Both the middles should definitely be equal. पता नहीं SD sheet में है कि नहीं, मेरे को याद नहीं है. But have you understood? So, what if I consider every element? What if I consider every element as the middle and I try to expand on the left, try to expand on the right and check out what is the longest string I can make? What is the longest string I can make? I think my answer will be done. Is this clear? अरे मैं basic DA से नहीं पढ़ा था भाई. मैं basic DA से नहीं पढ़ा था. I don't teach linear search and all. Trust me. I don't teach linear search. Like on basic level, I don't teach DSA. Whatever I teach, I teach like from a certain level. Is this clear? I'll code this now. Is this clear? As a logic clear? Yes. Can I get a yes if it is clear? Can I get it? Like, I'll take one more example. Yes. I'll take one more example. B, A, and a B. I'll take one more example. Just imagine if you are at this say. Just imagine if you are at this say. Like, so in the odd, like if I'm considering the odd length, please have patience. If I'm considering the odd length, what will happen is this A will be the middle. And on the right, this A will be taken. On the left, this A will be taken. But after this, the right and the left cannot be taken. That is the case of odd. If you consider this A to be the odd middle. But what if I say that this A will not be the odd middle? Instead, this will be the even middle. So instead, I'll take this A and I'll take this A. That's I, that the ith index and ith plus 1th index is what I take. After this, if I've taken this, I can take this guy on the right and this guy on the left. So if I consider this as an even middle, I end up getting a 4-length substring. And over here I end up getting a 3-length substring. Clear hai? Okay, ये वाला एग्जांपल समझ में आ गया क्यों इवन लेंथ लेना जरूरी है because it's very important that if you consider this as the middle, take these two as the middle or take the single element as the middle. Either you take couples as middle or you take one guy as the middle. हाँ भाई लाइव भी तो हो रहा है, मैं लाइव ही आई सॉल्व प्रॉब्लम्स लाइव ओनली. I don't like, I do recorded videos, but that is for crisp content, for super fast preparation. But over here it's live. I don't do recorded over here. हाँ मतलब और एक्सपेंड कर देंगे, हाँ मतलब यहाँ भी एक्सपेंड हो जाएगा, बट आई एम या दिस विल एक्सपेंड टू 6. विल एक्सपेंड टू 6, बट या बेसिकली आइडिया समझ गया ना, मैं और देखा नहीं था. Just keep on expanding on both the sides. Keep on expanding on both the sides. Take one guy and try to expand on both the sides. That is what is the idea. That is what is the idea. Okay. That's what the idea. 6 होगा, मैं देखा ही नहीं था क्योंकि मेरे को समझाने पे फोकस ज़्यादा था, तो मैं देखा नहीं. Yeah, Microsoft and Amazon are generally on the same level. So I'll just try to code this up. So if I say void get longest substring, and I can say a string of like the string s is given to you. So what I can say is I'll start off with int I equal to 0, I lesser than n, I plus plus, and I can say n is nothing but, right, I can say I can have s dot size. Right after that, what I can do is, I know one thing, there can be a odd middle, right, or there can be an even middle. So there can be an odd middle, or I can say there can be a even middle, correct? These two can be the cases. So just in case, I repeat, just in case there is an odd middle, okay, just in case there is an odd middle, what I will do is, I will like this, I will say if it's an odd middle. So I know one thing, I can just get the length as I need the maximum, by the way, right? Maximum as 0, and yeah, length as I can call this expand, and I can call I comma I, like with string I comma I is what I can call. With even middle, what I can do is I can say even middle is only possible when I is lesser than n minus 1. I can again call length as expand s comma I plus 1, right? मैं MacBook का ही keyboard use करता हूँ bro. And maxi can be called as maxi comma length, and at the same time over here I can write the same thing, maxi equal to maxi comma length. So this is what I will write over here. Yes, this is what I will write over here. So once I have written this, what I can do is, दोनों लेंथ को कंपेयर कर दो ना, दोनों बार अलग अलग क्यों ले रहा है. So now I need to write the expand solution, right? So let's have an int expand, and I have the string, I have the int I have the int j. So what I will do is I'll definitely keep an int counter, and I will keep the int s dot size, and I'll keep 2 pointers, like I have an I and I have a j. So what I know is if s of I is equal to s of j, like assuming both of them are while I is greater than 0 and j is lesser than n, and s of I is equal to s of j, then you can just keep on doing counter plus equal to 2, rather counter plus equal to 2, because there are 2 characters which are adding to your string, and you can do I minus and j plus plus. At the same time, what you will do is just make sure if I is equal to j, just have I minus and j plus plus already done. That's what you need to do. Or you can, instead of this, you can also have the other way. If I is equal to j, you can have counter plus plus, and you can do I minus and j plus plus. That's it. That's how you get the count, and you can return the count. Clear? Yes, this is n square. This is definitely n square. अगर गुड डीएसए करते हो तो Amazon Microsoft निकल जाता है. Amazon Microsoft के लिए सीपी नहीं लगता है. मैं बार बार ही बोलता हूँ Amazon Microsoft के लिए तगड़ी सीपी नहीं लगती है, बट हाँ, इफ योर सीपी इज गुड, सी देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. इफ समवन इज सेइंग कि सीपी करके कुछ नहीं होगा तो वो गलत है. देखो, अगर तुम सीपी बहुत अच्छे से कर देते हो तो तुम आराम से निकाल दोगे, बट अगर अब कोई बोले कि सीपी बिना करे नहीं होगा तो वो गलत है. मतलब सीपी बिना करे हो सकता है, बट अगर कोई बोले कि सीपी करके मतलब नहीं होने वाला, ये गलत स्टेटमेंट है. सीपी करके बहुत इजी हो जाएगा, बट सीपी बिना किए भी हो सकता है. ये इसका डिफरेंस समझना होगा, ठीक है. Yes, Cage says the longest palindromic subsequence is the longest palindromic subsequence. N square. अगर कोई बंदा सीपी में अच्छा है, 99% he will get a job, right? अगर कोई बंदा लीड कोड पे अच्छा है एंड सीपी उसका अच्छा नहीं है, तो इसकी श्योरिटी कम, इसकी जो परसेंटेज श्योरिटी है वो कम हो जाती है. आप इसको ऐसे समझ लो. भाई ऊपर का वो एक्सपैंड वाला पार्ट, ये वाला क्या ही किया मैंने. मैं आई पे खड़ा हूं, जे पे खड़ा हूं, दोनों को मिलाया, काउंट बढ़ा दिया, फिर दोनों को एक्सपैंड किया, मिलाया, काउंट बढ़ा दिया, एक्सपैंड किया, मिलाया, काउंट बढ़ा दिया, हो गया. For mock interviews, follow PRAMP, PRAMP. Online assessment, OA is online assessment. Satish, if you take every substring and if you check for palindrome, that will become n cube solution. If you pick up every substring and you check for palindrome, that will become n cube solution, which is not expected. Okay? Yes, this can be done in BGO of 1. This can be done in BGO of 1. Okay? If it is BGO of BGO of n में हो सकता है, but वो Manich's algorithm हो जाएगा. I'll make a separate video on channel, but Manich's algo is something which is not expected. Like, I will not recommend you to tell in the interview. Even if you go to this longest palindromic subsequence and if you check out the solution, over here you'll find a line. See this. Read this. No one expects you to come up with this algorithm in a 45 minutes coding session. So do not even go for Manich's algorithm in an interview, because trust me, if you're not well qualified, if you're not very well versed, you will flunk up. You'll not be able to explain. So avoid Manich's. That's why people do not teach Manich's that much. But anyways, if you want, I will make a video on the moment I start resume SD sheet questions. सतीश, मैंने बताया ना ये हो जाएगा. I told you ना सतीश. No, reversing doesn't works. Harsh, I've discussed the solution where reversing doesn't works. You can definitely check out the stream afterwards. Cool. Let's have the next question. This is a very interesting question. At first, on my level, it looked a bit tough. Again, this was higher level rounds. Like, that is why low level design. Like, this was from some experienced guy. So I'll come to this basic calculator. It looks a very simple question on hand, but trust me, it's not a simple question. So please read it. I'm not sure why it is on the medium. It should definitely be somewhere near hard. Read the question. Yes, managers is not intuitive. That is why I said you don't tell in the interview. This is the code. कोड देख लो. ये एक्सपैंड एक्सप्लेन करे क्या ही है इसमें एक्सप्लेन करने का. ये देखो, इफ यू आर हैविंग a b and I'm giving you I here, if I'm giving you j here, I match this a and I say counter, can you become 2? Next I move I here, I move j here. A again I see, are they equal? If they equal, I'll make them again 4 and I'll make I j go across j and here. Are these two equal? Yes. So I'll make this 6 and I will go back, j will go back, and ultimately this while loop will end. So I'll return the count. The count goes over here. Got it? Got it, Vivek? Ramp is an interview, mock interview kind of a site. You can give mock interviews for free. It's basically a site where you will have basically there'll be two guys connected. Let's say I am connected to someone else, so I will take a 30 minutes interview of that other guy and that other guy will take a 30 minutes interview of mine. So if you misuse the prompt and if you do not go prepared with a question, then your ID might be blocked. So make sure you have a question prepared so that you can ask the other guy as well, and that other guy will also ask you a question. So you basically tell him, see, it's all about telling an unknown answer. So if you're able to tell the answer, then he will also like, this is how you get better at expressing solution, writing code, nothing else. Without the saying expand I, I+1 and expand I वाला पार्ट, ये वाला पार्ट क्यों लिया, ये तो बताया ना, ये बेसिकली जब मिडिल लेंथ पैलिंड्रोम है, मतलब जब मैं एक एलिमेंट को बोलता हूँ कि तू ही मिडिल है, अब तू अपना लेफ्ट खोज, तू अपना राइट खोज, एंड जब I+1 लिए तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ तू मिडिल है, तू मिडिल नहीं है, इवन लेंथ पैलिंड्रोम खोजूंगा, तू और तेरा बगल वाला मिडिल है, अब इवन खोज। मैंने आगे समझाया, थोड़ा बैक करके स्ट्रीम को देख लो, ठीक है, जस्ट गो बैक एंड वॉच इट। In interview bit, if you do, it's better if you do lead code because the questions are in interview bit are generally copied. Okay. Okay, come back to the question, basic calculator. So please read the question. It's 11:15. I'll start off with the solution at 11:17 or 18. That'll be the last question for the day. मैं थोड़ा थका हुआ हूँ तो कम ही स्ट्रीम लूंगा आज। प्रज्वल दी भैया एक सजेशन तो दे दीजिए, फर्स्ट ईयर में हूँ, कैसे कोडिंग इम्प्रूव करूँ। पहला बात तो ये हर जगह पूछते हुए मत फिरो, तो कभी कोडिंग इम्प्रूव नहीं होगा। स्टार्ट लर्निंग, कुछ नहीं होगा, बस प्रैक्टिस करो, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो, पूछो ही मत, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो, कोड फोर्सेस सॉल्व करो, लीड कोड करो, जीएफजी करो, जो करना है मन करो, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो, खुद इंप्रूव हो जाओगे। जब खुद एक प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगा, उसका जब सोल्यूशन खुद के सॉल्व करोगे, यू विल गेट योरसेल्फ इम्प्रूव्ड। डोंट गो एंड आस्क एवरीवन हाउ टू इम्प्रूव, बिकॉज 6 महीना पूछते फिरोगे, 6 महीना रोड मैप देखोगे, कुछ नहीं होगा। लोग व्यूज कमा लेंगे बट तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं होने वाला। ऋषभ, it's not about studying what तो देखो, तुम अपना प्रैक्टिस करो, इंटरव्यू एक्सपीरियंसेस पढ़ते जाओ, धीरे धीरे वो एक ना एक रिजेक्शंस होंगे बट एक ना एक जगह लग जाएगा। बट इफ यू थिंक दे और कितना करूँ, नहीं और कितना नहीं होता, you are never complete, you keep on solving. Today also I'm not complete, I keep on solving problems. Why? Because we want to get better every day. Get yourself better every day, because there might be a question which you cannot answer, there will always be a question which you cannot solve. So always try to get yourself better so that the probability of you not being able to solve reduces every day. That's the thing. Can you say how to start contributing to open source development? Again, I'm not the right guy to say for it. Probably you can ask someone who is much more knowledgeable. So ask someone who's knowledgeable, he can give you a better answer on that. Someone is saying stacks. Stack is not the most optimal solution. But yeah, you can say stacks, but is that the most optimal solution is the question. That's definitely not the most optimal solution. Convert to postfix and use, okay. Keep revising and do a lot more problems. That is what I'll say. Stack because expression, okay. A lot of people are saying stack. What if I say that this can be solved in big O of n complexity and without a stack? This can be solved without using a stack. Like this can be solved using stack, but I can still solve it without using a stack and a big O of 1 space complexity. Microsoft's work culture is much better than Amazon. That is what I've heard. This question should be tagged hard because it has a lot of other logic involved. It's not a very straightforward question. That is why I'm saying it should be tagged hard. How to identify a problem is from stacks. Generally, when you see a problem, when you do a lot of questions, you see generally the expression based questions are based on stacks, right? Generally the expressions like postfix, infix, these kind of questions, or something like linearly increasing, decreasing kind of thing, like next greater element, next smaller element. These things are generally based on stack. Time passed. अच्छा 11:19. चलो शुरू करते हैं. Question पढ़ लिया. Have you understood the question, by the way? I can start off with the answer. Cool. So I'm not sure about work culture at VMware. I'm not sure. Yes, luck also sometimes plays a role. If two guys are interviewing, the guy who has easier question you might get a tougher question. So that is how the luck plays, man. You cannot help with this, and that is how the world goes, man. Yes, I'll make a DB series coming across in Diwali, not now. Cool. So 3 plus 4 into 2. If I write this in calculator, what happens? If I write something like 3 into 2 plus 4, what happens? In calculator, if I write this, first this thing happens. 3 plus 4 into 2, that's 3 plus 8 happens, that's 11, right? And if I write something like this, then 3 into 2, 6 plus 10 happens, that's 10. So in calculator, generally the precedences into divide, like these things generally tend to appear first. What about and then plus minus? When does into appears first or divide appears first? Doesn't matter. If you're moving from left to right, whatever comes from left to right first, that appears. It can be an into, it can be a divide. But in case of into, divide and plus minus, this precedence is higher. Into or divide will always appear first, and then something like a plus minus. Okay, BODMAS rule nahi lagta hai. Calculator appears generally left to right. Calculator generally takes it from left to right. Okay. So what do you think? What is the solution? So generally you should give it a try for 10-15 minutes. If nothing strikes, you should definitely come to a solution. If nothing strikes, I'll prefer that you come to the solution. So it's a very simple thing. What you will do is, if whatever is given to you, like 3 plus 2 into 4 divided by 3 plus 6 minus 2 into 2, if something like this is given to you, what I'll suggest you is scan through it, and let's start with the stack solution. Scan through it, put everything into the stack. If it's a plus or minus, I repeat, if it's a plus or minus, take it and put it into the stack. Do not do anything else. Take it and put it into the stack. So let's start. So initially I have a 3. Does this question have brackets? नहीं. अगर brackets होता तो फिर expression की आपके पास आ जाती, but इसमें अपने पास brackets नहीं है. So something like brackets will definitely not come. Yes, something like brackets will definitely not come, guys. So what you'll do is you'll simply take it and put it into the stack or do something like that. Brackets are the different. Brackets are the easy question, but it's not a bracket. It's not a bracket. So that is why you don't have to do it, right? So basically, let's start off. You have a positive number. Remember, what I will do is I'll try to accumulate the positive and negative numbers together. So this is a positive number. I'll just take it and put it in. Next, this is a plus. So I'll not do anything. I'll just carry a plus. I'll just carry the sign plus. Next, I come across 2. Very, very important. I come across 2. So it's the previous sign was plus. Remember, the previous sign was plus. So I take this 2 with this plus and I put it into the stack. Nice. Next, the next sign that I get is into. Please carefully understand. The next sign that I get is as into. Again, do not do anything and move forward. Do not do anything and move forward. So the moment I move to 4, very, very important. The moment I move to 4, you will see what is the sign. If the sign is multiply or divide, I repeat, If the sign is multiply or divide, take the topmost element out of the stack. I repeat, take the topmost element out of the stack, and whatever is the operator, multiply that. So if it's a multiply or divide, take the topmost element out, because the topmost element will be the previous element. So multiply that, and now take this 8 and put it up. So this will be automatically converted into 8. Next comes out to be division. So again, it's a division operator. If it's a division operator, again take the topmost element out. That's an 8. So 8 will be divided by 3. So that gives you 2. So put in 2. Next comes 3. 3 is done. So you had 8 entered, right? Next you have a division operator. Don't do anything, just have the division operator stored. Next, come to 3. So when you come to the element 3, you see that the previous sign was divide. The previous sign was divide, and if the previous sign is divide, you'll take this element out, the topmost, and you'll divide it. So you'll get 2. Put that 2 in. Next, plus, store that sign. Store that plus sign. Now come to 6. 6 sees the previous sign was plus. 6 checks that previous sign was plus. So what I'll do is, I'll just take the 6 and enter it. Next sign is minus. So next sign is minus. Now I come to 2. Remember, whenever you see 2, like whenever you see a number and the previous sign was negative, insert minus 2. Insert minus 2 instead of inserting something like that, whatever I called you, right? Next, go to multiply. Now what you will do is, you will store the previous sign as multiply. Again, the next thing that you'll do is, you'll come to this 2, and you'll take it off. And you'll see that the last sign was multiply. So take this minus 2 out, and just multiply it with that. So you'll get minus 4. Insert minus 4 this time. Again, makes sense because 2 into 2 would have been 4, and there was a sign minus, so minus 4. So once you've done this, the iteration is over. Take everything out of the stack and just add them up. 3 plus 2 plus 6 minus 4. So the answer will be 5 plus 6, 11 minus 4. 5 is the answer. नहीं, इसके बाद ये इनफिक्स टू पोस्टफिक्स है, मतलब बट इसके बाद ही तो सच्चाई शुरू होगी. क्यों स्टैक बताया, समझने की कोशिश कर, क्योंकि the optimal solution is doesn't use a stack. That is why I told you stack in this way. Is I'm gonna use my brain to, like, मेरा brain नहीं, already existing solution है. I'm gonna show you from how can I arrive to a solution without stack. तो ये समझ में आया क्या? Has everyone understood this? So in short, what I'm doing is, if I write down, what I'm doing is, I'm keeping a track. If the previous sign is, like, if I am at a digit, and the previous sign is plus or minus, I put that into the stack. And if I am at a digit and the previous sign is multiply or divide, I take the element out. Yes, I take the element out and I do the element, or I divide the element, and then whatever is the result, I put that into the stack. Got it? Numbers double digit भी होंगे तो मैं solve कर दूंगा. Numbers double digit है ना, मैं कर दूंगा solve. Don't worry. वो बड़ा बात नहीं है, वो छोटा चीज है. Double digit can be easily maintained, bro. That's not a big thing, bro. छोटी चीज है यार, छोटी चीज है. अगर प्रीवियसली साइन मिला ही नहीं है, डिजिट मिला, तो डिजिट उठा के इंटू 2 करके, इंटू 10 करके डाल देंगे. क्या हुआ? 7 नहीं आया क्या आंसर? क्या आया? 7 आएगा क्या आंसर? क्यों 7 आएगा भाई? 3 प्लस 8/3 2 होता है, प्लस 6 माइनस 4, सही तो है. 3 प्लस 2 5 प्लस 6 11 माइनस 4 7. अरे मैं बहुत ही पढ़ा रहा हूँ ना, तो मेरा दिमाग हमेशा पढ़ाने में होता है। ये सब छोड़ो, क्या लॉजिक लॉजिक समझो। प्लस माइनस गलती हो गया भाई, माफ करो। So a lot of people are saying me, what if there are double digits? अरे क्या हो गया, डबल डिजिट है तो डबल डिजिट है तो क्या हो गया? लेट्स से 22 प्लस 13 है, लेट्स से 22 प्लस 13 है, चलो 22 प्लस 13 ले लेते हैं। If there is a double digit, I'll take 2. So I know previous sign was plus, like I'll start with the plus sign automatically. So if it's a digit, I'll take this 2 and I'll insert it. Now the next digit is 2, but the previous digit was a digit itself. It was digit itself, which means I'll take this 2 out, I'll multiply 10 and I'll add 2 and I'll then insert it. So 22 will be inserted. Next I'll come here, it's a plus. So I'll come to 1, plus 1 will be inserted. Next I'll come to 3, so I'll take this 1 out, into 10 plus 3 and I'll insert 13. पहले डिजिट नहीं है, पहले साइन नहीं है, तो वापस लेके इंटू 10 करके डाल देने का ना। अरे ब्रैकेट के साथ कर लेना यार, ये ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन है। ब्रैकेट वाला तो इजी है, ब्रैकेट तो बच्चा वाला है। नो दैट इज नॉट वैलिड साहिल, दैट इज नॉट वैलिड। 3 plus minus 2 is equivalent to, if you write 3 plus minus 2, that's equivalent to writing 3 minus 2. So वो ऑटोमेटिक हो जाएगा, ये साइन प्लस था, लास्ट साइन माइनस ही होगा, तो माइनस 2 ही लोगे तुम। So have you understood how to do? So have you understood how to do for multiple digits? So have you understood how to do for multiple digits? Now, can I remove this stack? Tell me, can I or can I not? Just think and tell me, can I or can I not? Just think and tell me. Can I, like, what I require? What if 8 into minus 2? 8 into minus 2. That was, I think ये बोला नहीं है इधर, एक सेकंड देख लेते हैं। Is 8 into minus 2 a valid expression? Okay, that is a valid expression. Okay, into है minus है, it's not a valid, like I think this is not a, इसमें ये वाला चीज है नहीं शायद। हाँ पढ़ लेते हैं वैसा वाला है कि नहीं। I think it's a single expression that will always be given to you. It's a single expression that will always be given to you. If there are multiple expressions, then तो फिर अलग से करना पड़ेगा. If there are multiple expressions like 8 into minus 2, then there will be a problem. You have to do it separately. कोड नहीं होना, ये इम्प्रूव होगा, ये कोड थोड़ी करेंगे, ये बच्चा वाला सोल्यूशन है यार, ये कोड थोड़ी करेंगे। ओके, लेट्स कम टू दिस, मैन, लेट्स कम टू दिस। सो अभी एक चीज बताओ, think and tell me one thing. What am I requiring at every step? Just think and tell me. What is the last step that I'm doing? I'm popping everything out of the stack and I'm adding them. Basically, I did this at the last. I took 3, I took 2, I took 6. I just took the last element every time and I added it. Like whatever was on the stack. That is why I'm using a stack. Or else why am I using a stack? If there is a multiply and if there is a divide, like if there is a multiply and if there is a divide, can I say I just require the top element of the stack and I'll do a multiply or I'll do a divide with the top element. So instead of having a stack, can I store the last element? Because the last element is indeed the top element. Don't you think this? The last element is indeed the top element. Can I just keep a track of the last digit that appeared? Can I just keep a track of the last digit that appeared? And whenever it's a multiply, divide, instead of calling stack.top, can I do the operation and the last element will always be stored? Think and tell me if I'm telling you the correct, like if I'm saying you the correct thing. What's happening with this Kunal situation? Don't want to interrupt your flow. Maybe answer later. Nothing is happening, man. I just pointed out about the thing is, see, I am a competitive programmer, but you'll never find me saying कि dev मत करो, कुछ नहीं होता dev से. Have you seen this from me? That is where the problem lies. आप देखो, चलो आप बोल भी रहे हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, आप बोलो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, आप वीडियो में बोलो, आप लिंक्डइन पे बोलो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आप पोस्ट करो। मैं आज मेरे पास 1 लाख सब्सक्राइबर्स है, मैं चैनल पे वीडियो डाल दूंगा, कि भाई साहब सीपी छोड़ के जिंदगी में जॉब नहीं मिलती है, सीपी करो तभी जॉब मिलेगी. एंड व्हाट आई डू इज आई टर्न ऑफ ऑल, लाइक if someone is commenting something, I will delete it. So if a newbie who's in a first year comes to that video, what will he think? कि भाई पूरे कमेंट में तो पॉजिटिव्स है. So he thinks कि भाई ये बंदा सही बोल रहा है एंड सीपी करने से ही सब कुछ होगा. इधर मुझे प्रॉब्लम है. Anyone can preach anything, anyone can do anything. That is everyone's choice, right? But the thing is, if you are an influencer, at least take responsibilities of comments. Like, have other opinions in your comment section, because when someone is reading a post, when someone is watching a video, when someone is reading anything on the internet, the cross opinion should be known to him. Otherwise वो एक ही opinion उसको सही लगेगा, and this is where a wrong path might be formed, which is absolutely wrong. This is what is the problem with, like I pointed out, you can do whatever you want, but let others have their opinion, because there is a public which can decide after getting both sides of the opinion instead of getting one mirror of the opinion. That is what I'm saying. And he's keeping on still deleting comments. He can keep on deleting comments. And the worst thing is, he's so immature. He creates fake accounts at LinkedIn and he comments on that. So that is wrong, man. That's ethically wrong. That is something which you should not do. Anyways, let's come back to the stream. 3 plus 2 into 5 plus 6 plus 7 divided by 2. Okay, assume this is your string. Okay, now what I'm trying to say is this is the string. What if I do not use a stack? Yes, what if I do not use a stack and I'm going to use, initially I'll take a previous sign. Again, I'm not like, generally when I record, my solutions are very clean because I take time. I take 1.5 hours to record a 30 minutes video. So that's why it's very clean, very crisp. But when I'm teaching live, it is clean and crisp if it's not in YouTube. If it's in some paid platform, I prepare for it. But over here, I just come and teach. I just come and teach whatever I feel like. Previous sign is plus. Just keep it as plus. Keep it as plus. Okay. So what I'll do is, I'll keep it as plus and I'll keep the last number. So as of now, the last number is 0. So I've kept it as plus and I'll kept it as the last number as 0. And I'll keep the answer as 0. I know the answer is at the end the addition of stacks. So what I'll do is, I'll come to this tree. So as of now, the previous sign is plus. The previous sign is plus. But you're not sure. You're not sure कि आगे क्या होगा. Because if I have a multiply here, then 3 into 2 will be happening instead of 3 plus 2. So you're not sure here. So what you'll do is, until and unless the next digit comes, until and unless the next plus or minus digit comes, I'll take this 3 and I'll say, hey, last number, please store it. Perfect. Next, I come to this plus. I'll come to this plus. This time, yes, this time what I'll do is, I'll have this previous sign updated to plus. Next, I'll come to this 2. The moment, realize, the moment I come to a digit, I'll take this last number and I'll add it to the answer. And I will say, hey, last number. Now your last number is 2. 3 is no more your last number. Now your last number is 3. Okay, perfect. Next, I'll come to multiply. And what I'll say is, hey, previous sign, you wanna multiply. Perfect. Next, I come to 5. This is the moment you need to understand. I have a multiply, right? Multiply hai bhai. Previous bata kaun hai? Previous was 2. Aja. 2 into 5 will be done. Current digit is 5. Last is 2. So previous sign says multiply. So last number now becomes 10. This indeed turns out to be 10. Got it? This indeed turns out to be 10. Next, move. Plus again. So this will be updated to plus. Next, 6 again. Again got a next digit when the previous sign is plus. Again got a next digit when the previous sign is plus. So what you'll do is, you'll take this last number and I'll add this to your answer. And it'll make it 13. It'll make it 13 because 3 plus 10 will become 13. And this 6 will become your last digit. This 6 will become your last digit. Again go. And this is your plus. So again update it to plus. Again go. This is new digit again. So this 6 will be added. It will become 19. And now the last digit will be 7. Next go divide. So the moment you get divide, On the next number, you have 2. So 2, 7 divided by 2, that's 3. So the last number will become 3. And this is the moment you are ending. This is the moment you are ending. So when you end, whatever is stored on your last number, just add it. It'll be 22. I want an OP on the chat if you have understood this. कर तो आप बहुत तरीके से सकते हो, बट स्टैक को छोड़ के ऐसे कर सकते हो, थोड़ा आगे पीछे आप लॉजिक कर सकते हो, बट the soul, it will be like you have to store whatever as the last number. You can treat that as the top, and that is how you can treat the answer variable. मेरे घर में सब परेशान है, मैं इतना चिल्लाता रहता हूँ. Like when I do live streams, I'm in so much of energy. My parents are like, भाई ये पगला गया है, वो क्या कर रहा है ये रात को 12 बजे. Neighbors be like, भाई ये सब पगला गया है ये बंदा. When is the answer updated? Whenever, like, this is when the answer is updated. See, you had a result 10 stored. The moment you get a plus, so you had the previous. You had a previous plus 6. So you had new. So plus 6 था. तो ये पहले 10 जोड़ दो अब, क्योंकि प्लस है और नया डिजिट आ गया है. Whenever there is a नया डिजिट कमिंग, जोड़ दो भाई, जोड़ दो पुराने वाले को. Again, Siddharth, you can try out different logics. See, a problem can be solved using multiple logics. You can try out lead code का basic calculator true है. Go and try out your solution. You'll find if it works or not. Simple. मेरे से पूछ के क्या होगा, सच खुद ट्राई करो ना. See, मेरे से पूछोगे मैं हाँ ना बोल दूंगा, क्या फर्क पड़ेगा. If you try it by yourself, you'll indeed code something. Even if it is wrong, you'll code it, and that is where your implementation skills get better. ठीक है, ठीक है. कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लो. कोई डाउट है तो पूछ सकते हो, नहीं तो मैं बहुत थक गया भाई. I got super tired. So if there's any doubt, you can ask me. First plus sign. अभी देखो, जब शुरू कर रहे हो बस just to make sure that there is a linearity maintained, I always have the plus sign involved just to maintain a linearity. So when I start, when I'm at the first number, what should I do with it? What should I do with it? Should I multiply? That's why I've kept a plus sign. That's why I've kept a plus sign. नहीं, 6 + 7/2 है. देखो क्या होगा, 6 + 7/2 है, तो लास्ट नंबर 6 स्टोर हुआ होगा, राइट. ये देखो 6 स्टोर हुआ है लास्ट नंबर. ये देखो लास्ट नंबर 6 स्टोर हुआ है. तो जब तुम 6 पे हो, तो तुम आगे गए, तो तुमको प्लस साइन मिला, तो तुमने प्लस साइन करा. फिर तुमको जैसे एक डिजिट मिला ना, तो ये 6 गायब हो जाता है एंड जाके इसमें जुड़ जाता है, एंड फिर ये 7 लास्ट नंबर बन जाता है. एंड फिर जब डिवाइड आता है तो डिवाइड लिखते हैं, एंड फिर जब नेक्स्ट डिजिट आता है तो ये 7 को लेके डिवाइड कर देते हैं. पता है आदित्य, समझ में आया? आदित्य, गॉट इट? हाँ, छुट्टी हो गई. मैं आई एम डन फॉर टुडे. आई एम वेरी टायर्ड. इट्स बीन अ हेक्टिक वीकेंड. आई एम बीन वर्किंग ना. अभी मुझे जाके फिर 1 घंटा सोऊंगा, फिर जाके ट्री सीरीज के 5-6 वीडियो बनाने. आई एम बीन वर्किंग वेरी. So I'll not code this. This solution is inspired from here. Like you can go and check it out. I read, like I did not come up with this solution. This solution is inspired from here. Very simple, you'll understand. I'm not willing to code. Like I'm over. So you can just go and check this out. इधर से देख लेना, बहुत simple है, बहुत simple है, बहुत simple है. Go and check it out, ठीक है? The solution is inspired from this. I have not come up with this solution. I also read. I am a normal human being as you. I also read solution. Yeah, stack वाला मेरे को आ गया था. I'll not tell a lie. Stack वाला मेरे को आ गया था. But yeah, this one I had to read. This one I had to read. Like I was thinking कि हाँ कर सकते हैं, but I was not confident कैसे handle करेंगे. So that is when I read the solutions. And remember, whenever you solve lead code problems, don't think that your solution is the best. Go to, like, never ever think your solution is best. Go to the discuss forum. That's how you improve यार. If you think कि मेरा solution ही सही है तो गलत हो जाएगा. अगर तुम ये सोचते हो ना हमेशा कि मैं ही बेस्ट हूँ तो गलत हो. Just go to the discussion forum, read Java solution, read this solution. I keep on reading solutions. That's how I get better. I keep on reading solutions. मैं इधर जाऊंगा, this is how I read. चलो इसे पढ़ लिया, और उसके बाद मैं थोड़ा सा नीचे भी पढ़ता हूँ. अच्छा, इस बंदे ने और बेटर छोटे में किया है, ठीक है, नीचे और कुछ बेटर है. This is how you generally read, and that's how you get better every day, man. if you always think कि मेरा solution सही है तो कभी better नहीं होगे. Okay? नहीं, खाना खाना है, मेरे को भूख लगा है. I'll go and eat something. So guys, thank you for joining. Tomorrow we will be solving Adobe. Alright, we will be solving Adobe tomorrow. Before that, I have to do a promotion pitch again. So I'll just complete that. And after that, I'll end this up. So guys, just make sure you check out the Career as a Developer subscription. It's just at 999 for 1 year, and you can use the coupon code Striver to get an additional 10% discount. Now this Career as a Developer subscription is ideal for software developers. Basically, if you're interested in watching shows like discussion on projects, problem solving, resume review, placements in top product based companies, or you want to directly chat with me or something like that, or any other educator, over there you can come across, and the subscription is 999 for 1 year, and if you use the coupon code Striver, you'll get a 10% discount. So ideally you'll get it at 900 for 1 year, which is around 3 rupees per day. That's very cheap. And you can also check out the college projects. I'll be taking this inside this Career as a Developer subscription. The show is happening every Friday night, where I basically do is I pick up projects, random projects, and we discuss the ideas, discuss the tech that is used, and we discuss कि क्या गलत है, क्या better हो सकता है, what the interviewer will say कि this is wrong. This is what I generally do. And there is CodeChef Apprentice, which is taken by Sai, again an SRESWE at Google. You can watch Sai's lecture. I'm not sure why people do not watch, but he teaches. Like, he's a very good guy, man. He is an all India rank 4 at CodeChef. Like, I can vouch for this guy. He's very, very good. As an all India rank 4, he's a master at code forces. So he has a lot of knowledge. He's taking the number theory course. You can check it out. And also, guys, he takes a CodeChef Apprentice where he solves CodeChef problems. He tells you how to get better at CodeChef, how to give contests and everything. And it is every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. under the Career as a Developer subscription. And the last pitch, if you haven't checked out my batch, it has started on 1st of August, completely in English. I'll be teaching you everything: segment trees, dynamic programming, all the other things. You can just go to my profile in the link and you'll find out the syllabus, entire syllabus, completely in English, as I always teach. That's, you can check out the subscription, and do not forget to use the coupon code Striver in order to get the 10% discount. And yes, please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel, like and share the stream. Like कर दो stream को. Like नहीं किया यार stream को, मुझे मुझे बड़ा बुरा लगता है. Stream को like नहीं करते हो तुम लोग. ठीक है. Good night, people. It was an amazing session. I'll be okay. Sai is good. Yes. I think you should do the SD sheet. Do the SD sheet completely. That should be more good. Just do the SD sheet. Okay, guys. Good night. I'll have a dinner time there. Bye bye. Take care. Let's meet tomorrow for